Reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhyakanda, chapter 13, Deliverance of Jagai and Madai. This is text 129, 130. Lord Nityananda is saying, Sabave dharmike balaye Krishna nam, hey dui vikarma vai, nahi janayan, hey dui udaron, jadidiya bhakti dan. Tabe jane pataki pavan hena nam. Nitai said, a pious person naturally chants the name of Krishna. But these two, Jagai and Madai, they don't know anything other than sinful activities. Mahaprabhu, if you can deliver these two by giving them devotional service, Diya Bhakti Dan, then I will know that you're a Patita Pavan, deliver the fallen. Amare Tariya Jata Tomara Mahima Tato Dika Edui Jara Udara Sima. The deliverance of these two will certainly be more glorious than the deliverance of me. Hasibale Vishambara Haila Udhar Yek Shane Darashana Paela Tumar. Vishambara smiled and replied, these two drunkards were already delivered the moment they got your darshan, Nitai. Vishesha Chintahatumi Eteka Mangal Achirate Krishnatara Karibakushal. Nitai, you're so concerned for their benefit. Certainly Krishna will soon arrange for their well-being. Shrimukera Vakyashuni Bhagavatagan Jai Jai Haridwani Karila Takan. On hearing these words from the lotus mouth of Vishambara, all the devotees chanted, Jai Jai Hari Hari. Haila Udara Sabe Manila Ridhaye Advaitara Stane Hari Dasa Katakaye. They were all convinced that the two drunkards were already delivered. Haridas went before Advaita and spoke as follows. So now Haridas is revealing his mind to Advaita Acharya about his rather unusual preaching partner Nitai, and he's somewhat complaining about him. Chanchalera Sange Prabhu Amare Patai Amitaki Kotase Vakon Dike Jai. Vishambara sends me out with this restless person for preaching, yet Nitai leaves me behind, and who knows where he goes. Varshate Janavijale Kumbira Vidhai Santara Idia Tare Dhari Barejai. During the rainy season, there are many crocodiles in the Ganga. Nitai jumps in the Ganga and starts swimming in the waters trying to catch them. Kuli Taki Dhaka Pari Karihaya Hai Sakala Gangara Maje Basiya Vedai. In great anxiety, I call Nitai loudly from the riverbank, but he continually floats around in the waters of the Ganges. Jariva Kulete Ute Balaka Dekia Maribara Tari Shishu Jaya Kedadiya. If Nitai sees some boys, he comes out of the water and chases them to beat them. Tara Pita Mata Aise Hatte Tengalaya Tasava Patayami Charane Dhariya. When their parents come with sticks in their hands, I fall at their feet and send them back to their homes. Goya Lara Grita Dhari Laila Palai Amarajariya Tara Mari Barejai. Nitai steals butter and yogurt from the coward men and runs away. And then they catch me, and they want to beat me. And Haridas is very old, and he can't run very fast. And they both combine together to steal some yogurt and butter, just like Krishna and Balaram were doing in Gokul. And then they chase them, and they catch Haridas, and they want to beat him. Sehi se karaye karma, jejukti nahi, kumari dekhiya bale, more vivahiye. Whatever Nitai does is unreasonable. For example, when he sees an unmarried girl, he tells her, "Marry me." Chadiya Shandera Pite Mahesha Bolai Paurera Kabira Dugda Dui Dui Kai. Nitai jumps on the back of an ox and declares out loudly, "I am Mahesh." He takes milk from others' cows and drinks it. Amishikaele Gali Padaye Tamare Ki Karite Paretor Advaitat Amare. When I try to teach Nitai something, he abuses me and says, "What can your Advaita do to me?" Chaitanya Balasjare Takura Karya Seva Ki Karite Pare Amare Asya. And Sri Chaitanya, whom you consider the Lord, what can he do to me? Kichui Nakahi Ami Takurerestan Daiva Jogi Aji Raksha Paila Paran. Advaita, I have not said anything about this to Lord Vishwambar, but today my life has been saved by providence. Mahamato Jaladui Pate Pori Ache Krishnupadeshagya Kahitara Akache. There were two drunks lying in the street when Nitai and I went out for preaching, and then Nitai went before them to preach Krishna's instructions, Krishna Upadeshagya. Mahakrode Daya Aila Maribhara Jivana Rakshara Hetu Prasara Tumara. In great anger, these two drunks rushed us to kill us. It is only your mercy that our lives have been saved. Hasya Advaita Bale Kona Chitra Nahi Madhyapara Uchita Madhyapasanga Haye Tina Mato Jala Sangha Ekatra Uchita Nashtika Haya Hine Kene Tumitara Bita. Advaita smiled and said, Haridas, this is not at all astonishing, for drunkards should associate with other drunkards. It is befitting that these three drunkards were together. But being a celibate, why were you there? So Advaita is making a joke here, saying that Nitai is, of course Nityananda is intoxicated Prem Mata, Gauranga Prem Mata. He's intoxicated in Gauranga Prem. But these two drunkards, they're intoxicated in a mode of ignorance by drinking wine. So Advaita is saying, yes, birds of a feather flock together. It's natural, Nitai will be attracted to these two drunkards. But why were you there? What are you doing there? Nityananda Kariba Sakale Matojala Uhana Charitamoni Jani Bale Bala. Advaita said, Nityananda will make everyone intoxicated. I know his character very well. Within 2 or 3 days, he will bring these two rogues who are fond of drinking wine into the assembly of Vaishnavas. Hey deka tumi dina, dui tina vyaje, se dui madhyapa aniba goshti maje. Haridas, just wait and see. Within 2 or 3 days, Nitai will bring those two drunkards into our assembly. Balite advaita hail lena kroda vesh, digambara haye bale ashesha vishesh. Speaking this way, Advaita became overwhelmed with anger. Then he spoke with great emphasis. Shunibasa kala chaitanyara Krishna bhakti kimane nachaya gaya dekon tana shakti. Everyone will hear about Chaitanya's devotional service to Krishna, and they will see his potency, how he dances and chants. Deka kali sedui madhyapa anya Nimai Nitai Dui Nachi Be Milia. Haridas, tomorrow you will see how Nimai and Nittai will bring those two drunkards and dance with them. Ekakara karibeka hedui jane jati lai tumiyami polaya jatane. Nimai and Nittai will make these two equal to us, and we will have to run away to save our caste. Advaita is saying that when these two drunkards come, they will contaminate the assembly. Anyone who sits next to them or brushes against their bodies or even sees these decadent creatures of Nadia, they will lose their caste. So he's intimating they have to run away. Advaitara Krodaveshe Hase Haridas Madhyapa Udara Chitte Haila Prakash. On seeing Advaita's angry mood, Haridas smiled. He was convinced that the two drunkards would be delivered. Advaitara Vakya Buje Kahara Shakati Muji Haridasa Prabhu Jara Jaina Mati. Who has the power to understand Advaita's words? Only Haridas Prabhu can understand them. Eva Papi Saba Advaitara Pakshahaya Garadhara Ninda Kare Maraye Padiya. Many sinful people take the side of Advaita and criticize Gadadhar. Such sinners will be burned to death. Jepa Pishteka Vaishnavera Pakshahai Anya Vaishnavere Ninde Se Jayakshai. Any sinful person who takes the side of one Vaishnava and blasphemes another Vaishnava is certainly ruined. Sedui Madhyapa Vedaya Stane Stane Aila Jaya Gate Prabhu Kare Ganga Snane. As the two drunkards wandered from place to place in Nadia, they came to the bathing ghat where the Lord would take his bath in the Ganga. It's Mahaprabhu Ghat, which is right opposite the house of Mahaprabhu. Now it's a dried riverbank there. The Ganga has moved away considerable distance, but the location is pointed out there when one does Parikrama of Mayapur, Barakana Ghat, Jagai Madai Ghat, and Mahaprabhu Ghat. And Daiva Joge Se Stane Kari Lekatan Bedayat Bule Sarvatani Dehan. By divine arrangement, the two drunkards made Mahaprabhu Ghat their place or their base from which they would go out and raid various places. Sakala Lokara Chitta Haila Shashanka Kiba Bhara Kiba Dhani Kiba Maharanka. Whether influential, rich or poor, all the people's hearts became filled with fear of these two drunkards. Nisha Haile Kehanai Jaya Ganga Snan Jadi Jaya Tabe Dasha Vishara Gaman. No one went to take bath in the Ganga at night, and if they did, they went in groups of 10 or 20. These are people that would bathe morning, noon, and night. They would go in groups of 20 out of fear of being attacked by Jagai and Madhai. Text 165 through 171. Prabhura Badira Kache Take Nisha Bage Sarvaratri Prabhura Kirtana Shuni Jage Mridanga Madira Baje Kirtanera Sange Madira Vikshepe Tara Shuni Nache Range Nuritaki Sabadwani Shuni Bare Pai Shuni Le Nachia Arika Madhya Kai Jakana Kirtana Kare Dui Jana Rahe Shuniya Kirtana Puna Utiya Nachaye Madhyapane Vivala Kichui Nahi Jane Achila Vakotaye Kotaya Achaye Konstane Prabhure Dekiya Baleni Mai Pandit Karaiba Sampurna Mangala Chandira Git Gayena Savabala Muni Deki Barechana Sakala Niyadiba Jata Shepan. Jagai and Madhai stayed near Vishwambar's house and listened to the Lord's kirtan as they remained awake throughout the night. Being intoxicated with wine, they joyfully danced as they listened to the sound of kartals, mridangas, and the kirtan. They could hear, although they could hear everything from a distance, they would listen, dance, and then drink more wine. Whenever there was kirtan, Jagai and Madhai would stay there. They would get up and dance. They were so overwhelmed by drinking wine. They did not remember where they had been or where they were. When they saw the Lord, they said, because they would see the Lord regularly, the drunkards were seeing the Lord at Mahaprabhu Ghat. O Nimai Pandit, you should sing the entire song of Mangala Chandi. You have expert singers who we wish to see. We will bring you and give you whatever you need. Of course, Mangala Chandi is some famous deity of Durga. And Jagai Mata assumed that they were staying up at night doing a Durga Jagran during Navaratri, 9 days of Durga during Kartik and right after Kartik, I believe. Everyone in India, they fast, eat after sunset or fast the whole 7 days, or Navaratri, I guess is 9 days. And they pray for the mercy of Durga. And oftentimes they make these straw dioramas of Durga and pray through the street and do some puja and then throw them in the Ganga. So Jagai Madai, they were thinking, oh, you're doing puja and chanting stutis and stavas, prayers to Mangala Chandi Durga Ma, Jai Mata Di. Maybe we can give you some paraphernalia for your puja. Durjana dekhiya Prabhu dore dore jai, harapatta diya loka sabaya palai. Seeing those miscreants, Lord kept a distance. Others took another path and ran away. Ekti Nityananda Nagara Brahmaya Nishaya Aise Done Dari Lekagiya. After wandering throughout the city one day, Nityananda went that night before the two drunkards. It's very interesting. Usually we see the paintings of this Leela of Nityananda liberating Jagai Madai. That is happening during the daytime. It seems to be a day Leela. But here it says, Egdin Nagara Brahmaya Nisha Aise. So Nisha Yam or Nisha Kal is a portion of the time which begins at 10:48 at night and goes to 3:36 in the morning of the following days. So this is very, very late at night. Like 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. So Nitai went to Mahaprabhu Ghat. He went to the bank of the Ganges. It's totally dark. There's no electricity in those days. Kere kere bhali dake Jagai Madai, Nityananda balena prabhura bhari jai. Jagai Madai shouted, Who are you? Who are you? Nityananda replied, I am going to the Lord's house. Madhira vikshepe bale kiba nam tor. Nityananda bale, avadut nam more. Intoxicated by wine, they asked him, What is your name? Nityananda replied, My name is Avadut. Balya Bhabe Mahamata, Nityananda Rai, Madhya Para Sange Kata, Kahena Lilai. Intoxicated in Balya Bhav, the mood of a child, Lord Nityananda spoke to the drunkards as his pastime. Udariba Duijana, Hinachiman. Udariba Duijana, Hinachiman. Ateva Nishaya Aila Seistan. Nitai had already decided, I will deliver these two. That is why he came there that night. Avaduta Namashuni Madhye Kupiya Marila Prabhura Shire Mutaki Tuliya. On hearing the name Avadut, Madai became angry. He picked up a clay pot and hit the Lord's head. Futila Mutaki Shire Rakta Pare Dhare Nityananda Mahaprabhu Govinda Sanare. The broken clay pot cut Nityananda's head, and blood flowed from the wound. Yet the Lord would simply remember Govinda. The broken clay pot cut the Lord's head, and blood flowed from the wound. Yet Lord Nityananda simply remembered Govinda. Daya Haila Jagayira Raktadeki Amate Arabhara Marite Darila Tarahate. Seeing the blood, Jagai felt compassionate, and he grabbed the hand of Madai, who was about to strike Lord Nityananda again. Kena hena karile, nirdai tumi drida, deshantari mariya ki haiba tumi bhara. Why did you do that, Madai? You're very cruel. What will you gain by beating an outsider? Hira hira avadute, Na Maria ar Sannyasi Maria kon Balavatumar. Leave the Avadut alone, Madai. Do not beat him again. What will you gain by beating a sannyasi? Atev Yatte Lokagiya Prabhu Rakahila Sangopange Tatakshane Takura Aila Nityanandera Ange Saba Rakta Wahidari Hase Nityananda Se Du Jera Bitare Rakta Deki Krode Prabhu Baya Nahijan Chakra 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 Prabhu Dake Ganegan Atte Vyatte Chakra Asi Upasana Haila Jagai Madhyataha Nayana Dekila Pramadaganila Sava Bhagavatagan Atte Vyate Nityananda Kare Nivadan Madhye Marite Prabhu Rakila Jagai Daive Se Padila Rakta Dukkha Nahi Pai More Bhiksha Deha Prabhu Hey Duri Sharir Kichu Dukkha Nahi Mora To me house dear. Some people quickly went to inform Vishwambar, who immediately came there with his associates. The entire body of Nityananda was covered with blood. Yet Nityananda smiled as he stood between the two. When Vishwambar saw the blood on Nitai, he lost external consciousness out of anger and repeatedly shouted, "Chakra, Chakra, Chakra!" The Sudarshan Chakra immediately appeared there and was seen by Jagai Madai. All the devotees, Lord's devotees, became bewildered. But Nityananda immediately appealed to the Lord as follows. O Nimai, when Madai hit me, Jagai saved me. By providence, blood came out today. Yet I feel no pain. O Lord, Jagai Rakilahena Vachana Shuniya Jagajere Alingila Prabhu Shukihaya Jagajere Bale Krishna Kripa Karutare Nityananda Rakia Kinile Tunimore Ye Abhishta Chitadeka Tahatumi Mag Haji Haite Hao Tora Prema Bhakti Lab. On hearing the words Jagai protected me, the Lord became happy and embraced Jagai. May Krishna bestow mercy on you. By protecting Nityananda, you have purchased me. Ask for any benediction you desire. May you attain pure devotional service from this day on. Gaurasundara was affectionate to his devotees, lovingly embraced Jagai and said, by protecting Nityananda from attack, you have purchased me. May you attain pure devotional service to Krishna by my blessings. This is the point. The Jagai defended the devotee, or defended the Lord. If someone protects a devotee or protects the Lord, then Chaitanya becomes very pleased. He blesses that devotee. Prema Bhakti Labha. He acquires or retains Prema Bhakti. So we all have an opportunity when we meet with other devotees. Sometimes when we get together with other devotees, they want to blaspheme a few names of devotees engaged in all kinds of bad activities. So we can protect that situation, just like Jagai protected Nitai. So we can protect the devotee by protecting a devotee or protecting the Lord. Then Nimai Pandit Chaitanya Vishwambar becomes very pleased. He'll come and shower his mercy upon one. So we should always take the positive approach, progressive outlook towards the devotees, and never take part in blaspheming of them. And if we are in an area or amongst some devotees where blasphemy is going on, then we should defuse that blasphemy by preaching and setting everyone's mind and consciousness on the right track. Reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 13, deliverance of Jagai and Madhai. And Lord Chaitanya is extending his mercy, about to extend his mercy. Nityananda is saying that he doesn't feel any pain. And Nityananda admitted to Mahaprabhu that Jagai protected me, even though Madhai threw the pot. If you ever want to remember who threw the pot, remember Madhai means mad. Madhai, M-A-D, mad. So the mad one. That's how I always remember. There's Jagai and Madhai. Well, who threw the pot? Well, this is how the brain works. Memory works by association and different ways. So this is, like you can make keys up also. Like I wanted to memorize the 9 islands of Navadvip, and also the sequence of the 9 limbs of devotion. So I made a key. If I remember the key, then I can remember the islands. Seems complicated, but for me it works. So you have to find different techniques for memorizing things. So my key is Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing the joyous moods of Radha's anurag. So first of all, the key is nice philosophy, because it's true. Lord Chaitanya is relishing the anurag bhavas of Radharani. And the first letter of each one of these words is each of the 9 islands, and it also represents the 9 limbs of devotion. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing Radha's joyous moods of anurag. And then the first, so Sri is S, Simantadweep. Simantadweep is the island for Shravanam, hearing. And then Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gauranga is Godrumdweep. Of course, you have to know the name of the islands. The second one is Godrumdweep, Sri Gauranga. And Godrum means chanting. This is the island of chanting. And then Mahaprabhu. Now this is tricky, because there's Mahaprabhu. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing the joyous moods of Radharani's anurag. Then there's moods. So Mahaprabhu and moods. So Mahaprabhu just so happens to fit Madhyadweep. Mahaprabhu, Madhyadweep. Then moods is Mudadrum. Mudadrum Dweep is Modadrum. So that becomes easy. And then there's 2 R's. One is Ritudweep and one is Rudradweep. So shorter things come before longer things. So the first one is Ritu, and the second one is Rudra. So now we go back. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So the third island is Madhyadweep. And Madhyadweep is the island for Smaranam, remembering. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Then keeps relishing. Keeps is K for keep, K for keeps, and K for Koladweep. And Koladweep is Padasevanam. Padasevanam. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing. Relishing is Ritudweep. And Ritudweep is, after Padasevanam comes Archanam. You know, the system of the 9 limbs of devotion. Shravanam Kirtan. I just made a key for that, and remember the islands. Because each island represents something. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing. Ritudweep is relishing, and Ritudweep is Archanam. Keeps relishing, and then joyous moods. Janudweep. J for Janudweep and J for joyous. And that's Vandanam, the island of Vandanam. Joyous moods. Well, here we have moods. Moods is Modadrum. Mudadrum. Modadrum Dweep is joyous moods. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu keeps relishing the joyous moods. And that is Vandanam and is Dasyam. Right? Dasyam. Archana Vandanam. Dasyam. And then joyous moods of Radha's anurag. The last R is Rudradweep. Ritudweep, then Rudradweep. Radha's anurag. And Rudradweep is Sakyam. Then anurag is Antardweep, and Antardweep is Atmanavedanam. So when I'm thinking, because if you just want to say, tell me the 9 islands, and which one represents which? It'd be a little difficult. But if you can remember this key, and then some other things too. But because it goes in Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Archanam like this. So anyway, when you go to college, I went to medical school and then to residency. So you have to memorize all millions of things. You have to develop all kinds of techniques and keys to memorize. So now, back to the pastimes. This text 193. Jagat Jere Varashuni Vaishnava Mandal Jaya Jaya Haridwani Karila Sakal. On hearing the benediction awarded to Jagai, all the Vaishnavas chanted, Jai Jai Hari Hari. So what was the benediction? The benediction was when Nitai told Chaitanya that Jagai, of the two, Jagai and Madhai, that Jagai had protected him from further aggression of Madhai. Then Lord Chaitanya was very happy to hear that Jagai, although he's so fallen, he had protected Nitai. And we discussed that yesterday about protecting devotees and protecting the Lord. And so then the benediction he got was Prema Bhakti Labha. May you attain pure devotional service from this day on. So when everyone heard that, imagine if you were there, imagine if you were in the room with your spiritual master, and all the God brothers, God sisters were there. And then he called up one devotee and says, I like this devotee very much. I bless you. I bless you from this day on, you'll attain Prema Bhakti today. Then what would the other devotees feel? Oh, what about me? that rascal, why he's getting the blessings instead of me? We may feel like that, or we could think, Jai Jai, Hari Hari, all glories, all glories. How fortunate. Because obviously it's a stroke of special mercy. So the devotees in this particular Sangha, and this is called Vaishnav Mandala, remember. This is not ordinary mandala, it's Vaishnav Mandala. The Vaishnav Mandala, this is a circle of Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam. Vaishnavas are Bhagavatas. They worship Bhagavan, and they study the Bhagavat. So they're Nirmatsaranam Satam. The Bhagavatam is Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam. It is for them. It is for the Vaishnav Mandala. So they are free from envy. So if they hear that another devotee is getting some reward or some benediction or glorious reward or position or benediction from the Lord, they don't become envious, they become joyful. Just like a mother or father. A mother or father, if their child wins some award in school, or he's promoted somehow, they don't say, oh, you got this award, why didn't I get it? They feel happy. Oh, my son became number one, or he got the award in the school. They're happy if their son or daughter excels in academics, or is recognized for some good behavior or saintly behavior they may exhibit in the society. They become proud. Oh, it's my son, my daughter is number one Sankirtan devotee in Mayapur. Maybe some of the Bengali devotees, maybe their mothers are also devotees, because the whole family's joined, and their son may become maybe a brahmachari, and he becomes number one Sankirtan devotee, number one book distributor for 2008. So she won't think, oh, why do you get that? I should be number one. No, she's very happy. So devotees are happy, because if one devotee is glorified, I'm glorified. We're all glorified. There's no competition here. So this is the Vaishnava Mandala. Jai Jai Hari Hari. All glories to Jagai. You just see the blessings he got. Prema Bhakti Haukari Jakana Balila Takani Jagai Preme Murchita Haila. As soon as Vishwambar said, may you attain pure devotional service, Jagai immediately lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. Jagai Preme Murchita Haila. So it was instant. The blessing was right immediate. He said, Mahaprabhu said, may you attain Prema Bhakti. So we're reading verse by verse and commenting, but it's going very fast. If you're watching the movie, it's going very fast. He's speaking to Jagai. Nitai is saying, spare them, spare Jagai, he protected me. Oh, really? Oh, from this day forward you will attain Prema Bhakti. And then as soon as he says that, then everyone says, Jai Jai Hari Hari. So then a split second later, then Jagai's, he murchita. Murchita means he faints. He becomes unconscious. Because he got the prema. He got the prema bhakti to such an extent, to such velocity and power in that benediction that he fainted. And this is the 8th symptom of sattvic bhav. It's called pralaya. Pralaya means devastation or destruction. Also means death. This also happens. But generally not in bhakti, because death is not favorable for devotion. That's why Nanda Maharaj didn't give up his body in separation from Krishna, and Dasarath did. So Nanda Maharaj is glorified as a much greater Vatsalya parental personality than the father of Ram. Because Ram's father, the Acharyas say, Ram's father only endured the pain of death once. Ram was banished to the forest, and then he couldn't bear that pain to not see his son, Ramachandra. So Dasarath died on the spot. And then, so then the Acharyas say, who has greater Vatsalya Bhav? Dasarath or Nanda Maharaj? When Krishna left Vrindavan and he went to Mathura, he stayed there for 17 years. He didn't come back. And then he went to Dwarka. And it wasn't until when Krishna was about 50 years old, he went to Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse. And Nanda Maharaj went there. So for 40 years, 45 years, he didn't see Krishna. So of course he had intense love, as Dasarath had intense love, or has intense love for his son, Dasarath Sutta, Ramchandra. What to speak of Nanda Maharaj's love for Krishna, for Gopal, Nandulal. So intense. But his love is so intense, and so this is called the Samartha Rati of the Brijvasis. Samartha, everything for the beloved, nothing for me. So his love is so intense that he was dying every moment of every day for 40 years. He tolerated the pain. Nanda Maharaj tolerated the pain of death every moment of every day for 40 years. Why? Because he didn't want to create any pain for his son. He was living by the thought, well, what if Krishna comes home and I'm not here? If Krishna comes home and I'm not here and he needs a new ball bat, he needs a new bat to play with, because they play like cricket. Not exactly cricket, but they throw amalaki fruits and they have these bats and they hit them. And Nanda Maharaj's duty was to make new bats when they would break the old bats, like these wooden bats, like lati. And what if I'm not here? What if I'm not here and Krishna comes back and a lightning bolt goes and he becomes scared and he runs into our room and I'm not there to hold him in my arms and to comfort him and to allay his fears of the lightning bolt during a rainstorm. So I must live on, although it's so painful, it's crushing, it's killing me. I'm dying moment by moment. So this is, the Acharyas say, his love is 1,000 times more than Dasarath's. And Dasarath, oh my son, and dies. So this is just one point. So although I'm just saying here that I was just reminded of this when Jagai received this prema, then there was this pralaya. So what the point I was making is that in the 8th symptom of sattvic bhav is pralaya, which means death. So the intensity of the Vatsalya bhav of Dasarath was so great that he died. That's really a high expression of bhav. Sattvic bhav, romancha kampa ashru. Romancha kampa ashru, these are different symptoms of sattvic bhav. Hair standing and then choking in the voice, tears. But the final one is pralaya, total devastation, annihilation, death. And it happens. Dasarath died. So this is pralaya. But here, so now this prema bhakti is coming into the heart instantaneously. There's no hesitation. He's given the benediction in 1 second, and a second later, prema murchita. He faints on the ground, but he doesn't die. Because it's not conducive to serving Lord Chaitanya. He has service to do. Prema means prem seva. Radhanam, it's like Radharani is a Radhanam. She has the greatest mahabhav, but she does the greatest seva. She doesn't simply relish her mahabhav and float off into outer space with her relishing her mahabhav. She's expressing it. Every part of Radharani is made of Mahabhav. Her eyes, her nose, her face, her hands, her entire body. Mahabhav Sarupini Radharani. So with every aspect of herself, she's giving Krishna the greatest happiness and the greatest love. Mahabhav. So Jagai is fainted on the ground. Immediately lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. But he's not dead, but he's unconscious. So in Gaudiya line, Rupa Goswami says that pralaya is not favorable, death is not favorable to serving Krishna. So therefore devotees faint, murchita. And you see so many instances of devotees fainting due to ecstatic bliss. Prabhu bale jagai uttiya dekamore satya ami prema bhakti dandila tore. Vishnubar said, Jagai, get up and look at me. I have indeed awarded you pure devotional service. Prema Bhakti Dhan Dila. I've given you that wealth. That is the greatest wealth. Ramananda Roy was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Dhani? Who is a wealthy person? Who is a crorepati in this world? Is it Bill Gates or Rockefeller or Tata or Hinduja? And Ramananda Roy, when he was asked, he said, no, my lord. He Prema Bhakti, who has Prema Bhakti, he is really wealthy. He is a wealthy person. So this is Prema Bhakti Dhan Dila. Mahaprabhu has given this wealth. And now Jagai is experiencing it. This is incredible. And Jagai has to think. Because now he's quite conscious. He's Krishna conscious. So now he has memory also. Krishna has given him memory. He's thinking, yes, many times my brother Madhai and I, we would get one bottle of whiskey. And we would drink and drink and drink until we fell unconscious. You also go unconscious on whiskey. But this unconsciousness, prema murchita, is nothing like that unconsciousness. This is mada, this is prem unmad. This is the madness, intoxication due to prem. I also fell on the ground. Madai and I would drink whiskey and we also collapse on the ground. And we fall on the ground. I also fell on the ground, but this is a different category, different nature. Now what is the experience of Jagai when he comes out of this murchita, this prem murchita, this unconscious state? Because the Lord is telling him, Vishnu is saying, look, Deko, look at me. What you fainted? You fainted, you couldn't contain the ecstasy and you fainted, murchita. Now wake up, uta, get up, look at me. What do you see, Jagai? Chaturbhuja, Shanka Chakra, Gada Padmadar, Jagai Dekhila se, Prabhura Vishwambar. Jagai saw a Vishwambar with 4 hands, Chaturbhuj, holding conch, disc, club and lotus. Dekhiya Murchita Hana, Padila Jagai, Bakshe Shri Charana Dila, Chaitanya Gosai. What? Can you imagine? Can you see this? This is the transcendental television, Shastra Chakshush. The eye of Shastra is supposed to take us through time, through space, beyond the body, into the Prakrita Leela, the Alokik Leela of the Lord. This is the telescope. People get a big telescope to see the rings of Saturn or Jupiter or whatever it is, to see the different planets up there. What's going on up there? We need a big eye, a big magnifying glass to see what's going on. Or see something very small, we need a magnifying glass, spy glass, or what, to see the small thing. The Shastras are that magnifying glass to see the reality distinguished from illusion for the benefit of all, as Srila Prabhupada said. Srimad Bhagavatam is that, and so is Chaitanya Bhagavat. See the pastime through the shlokas. Shlokas are magnifying glasses. They take us out of the body, beyond. There's no time, and Shastra is timeless. They write on the back of the Gita, the timeless wisdom of India, Bhagavad Gita, the perennial philosophy. These are the basic lines on the back of the Bhagavad Gita cover to promote the sale of the book. So these Shastras are timeless. They are nitya. They are Paurusheya, Shabda Brahman. So as much as we surrender to the Shabda Brahman, the Shabda Brahman takes us for a space ride. We go for a ride and we see it, we enter. And this, if we're actually tanmoy with Shastra, through Sharanagati, and through Icha, through desire and surrender, then when we read this, we'll also faint. We'll also see Chaturbhuj Narayan. This is what's happening with Rasika Bhavubhaka. The Bhava Bhaktas, the Premi Bhaktas, they have a quite different experience of Shastra than we do. Two devotees, I can remember sitting in some Harikatha with some very exalted Vaishnavas. And I'm sitting there trying to keep from falling asleep, as usual, sleeping in Harikatha. And I'm looking around and I see some people next to me, just tears flowing down their face like this. I was thinking, I see this person is listening. This person is really listening. There's hearing and listening. This vibration is going deep into their hearts, way beyond the senses, way beyond the mind. It's penetrating the heart region and stirring up the bhavas in their hearts. And those excited bhavas are rising, udipan. They're rising through the mind and heart and creating this transformation, ashru, bhavashru, shravanadhasha. They're hearing the Shastra and they're having like these transformations. And I was seeing us, I said, what's with me? All of this is, I'm hearing the same Shastra, the same Harikatha that he's hearing, and my experience is I can't keep my eyes open. And his experience is his heart is wide open and tears are falling from his open eyes. The only thing collecting in my eyes is some grease, some eye grease, that stuff on the side, right? No ashru. This is incredible that the Jagai, he gets supreme, he falls on the ground, he stands up, get up, look at me. Huh? What am I seeing? I thought you were Nimai Pandit. I was seeing you every day at Mahaprabhu Ghat. We made our base of operations there, my brother and I. We were seeing you. And I told you, we can bring ingredients for the worship of Mangala Chandi for you. And now, it's not Nimai Pandit. It's Chaturbhuj Narayan. Narayan! Seeing this, he fell unconscious to the ground. Now can you see this scene? Vakshe Sri Charna Dila Chaitanya Gosai. Now every morning we're singing. What about Vaksha? What are we singing about Vaksha? In other words, Nrsingadev is taking his nails, and Vaksha means chest, and he's ripping apart the chest of Hiranyakashipu and taking out his entrails. So here it's saying Vakshe Sri Charna Dila Chaitanya Gosai. So now, for the second time, in a matter of seconds, Jagai is fainted on the ground by the mercy of this contact with Prema. Now Sri Chaitanya is putting his lotus feet on Jagai's chest. Just see the fortune. Can you feel that foot on your chest? What would it be like? Who else had the foot on their chest? Who else got Lord Chaitanya's foot on their chest? Haridas Thakur, when was that? It was Antya Lila of Haridas at the end of his life. He says his dying request was, I want the bumblebees of my eyes to land on the golden lotus flower of Gauranga's beautiful face. And I want to feel the tender lotus petal soft feet of Gauranga on my chest. And in my ears, I want to vibrate the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. This is the wish of a dying man. Oftentimes when one is about to die in the prison, they say, dying man, or you're a prisoner, we're going to hang you at sunset, or give you an electric chair. What is your last wish? My last wish is that I have some maha cake from Radha Madhav. Or my last wish is I have Jagannath Chapan Bhog, or whatever. Sometimes they have other assorted wishes, which we won't mention. So Haridas, this was his dying desire, and it was fulfilled. Lord Chaitanya came and put his lotus foot on his chest, and he held it with his Chaitanya's foot with his hand. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Then he left. So here Jagai What is his qualification? This is pure mercy. Lord Chaitanya is putting his foot on his chest. How fortunate is Jagai? We can pray to Jagai. You're so fortunate. Vakshe Sri Chaitanya Charan Dila. He put his foot. Paya Charana Dhan. Lakshmira Jivan. Darila Jagai Jena. Amulya Ratan. Receiving the treasure of the Lord's lotus feet, which are the life and soul of Lakshmi. Jagai held them tightly as if they were invaluable jewels. He held them tightly as if they were invaluable. Amulya. Mulya means price. Mulya. Amulya means no price. Priceless. Ratana. Is it Ratana? Yeah, Ratana. Same as Hindi. Priceless jewels. Chaitanya Charan. These are priceless. Amulya Ratan. Chaitanya Charan, Amulya Ratan. There's something called visualization. There's something called visualization. It's very helpful. And matter of fact, it's a very useful tool. Because one aspect of smaranam, we say, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. This is Vishnu Smaranam. Remembering Krishna, Vishnu, Radharani, Chaitanya, Gauranga, Nityananda. Leela Smaranam. Guna Smaranam. Nam Smaranam. There's different categories of Smaranam. Rup Smaranam. Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela Smaranam. So to do Smaranam, we have to develop good powers of visualization. And in primary school, or even in nursery school, sometimes they have exercises of visualization for the children. So we have become big children of God. Let's say grown-ups, but we should grow down and not up. We're all grown-ups, but in Chaitanya's movement, everyone should be grown down. Sunichena, Trinadapi Sunichena. We should grow down, go down, get down. Namaha. What does Namaha mean? Maha means ego. Na means no. This is the most important word. The most important word when we offer obeisances is Namaha. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale, right? Vaishnav, O Vaishnavi, O Prabhu, O Didima, O Didi, or Vaishnavi, please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpa trubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. This is the most important word in the entire shloka, is the last word. We save the best for last. Namaha. Namaha. Ma, this ma means ahamameti. Ahamameti. Ego. Ahankar. False identification. Aham, I am the body. Mameti, this is my wife, my husband, my house, my car, my body, my cell phone. Ahamameti. Namaha means no false ego, only true ego. So when we're saying, this is what we're actually offering to the other devotee, or this is what we're offering at the feet of Guru, we're offering our ego. And we're praying, please accept my ego and purify it by your beneficent glance, by your all-encompassing mercy. I'm saying Namaha, I'm begging you, O Vaishnav Thakur, O Guru Bhai, O Guru Bain, O God Sister, O God Brother, O Mahaprabhu, O Guru Prabhu, Guru Dev, please purify my ego. Because when that's purified, Krishna Prem is accomplished. This is the whole Shikshastakam, is all about purifying the ego, developing the proper attitude. So this word, Namaha, is so important. So our movement is grow down, don't be grown up. So we as grown-ups, or so-called adults, adult means adulterated. Adulterated, what we say, unalloyed devotion, we say unalloyed. Ahoituki apratiyata. Ahoituki apratiyata. Unalloyed, pure devotion. No mix. Karma mishra bhakti, nehi Gyan Mishra Bhakti, no mixture, Shuddha Bhakti, pure Bhakti. So adult means adulterated. Adulterated means you have milk, You have 1 liter of milk, and then you throw in a half a liter of water, or 1 liter of water. Then you sell it. So that milk is called adulterated. So we're now adults, which means we're adulterated. There's so many mixtures inside of us. Adult means one who is adulterated, one who is mixed up with all kinds of misconceptions and proud ideas. So Jagai he's getting the mercy. And we should try to visualize, this is what I'm speaking about, this visualization process. We should practice the art of visualization. We read a few shlokas, and then we try to visualize. This is a very preliminary state of smaran. Later on, smaran comes on its own. But there's 5 levels of smaran, 5 levels of remembrance. The first one is active participation. We have to actively try to remember. And it's only momentary. It's his first level, smaran. It's called smaran. And then there's dhyan and anusmriti samadhi, like this. So smaran means actively. So part of smaran is visualization. We just see the beautiful scene. You see the Jagai, he's fainting. Then he gets up. Now he's lying on the ground, and Lord Chaitanya puts his feet. It didn't say foot. It said puts his 2 feet on his chest. So visualize. What would it be like? And if you want to have a deeper visualization, lie on the floor and have your godbrother step on your chest. So you can absorb the idea. Oh, please, I'll lie on the floor. You step on my chest. Oh, yeah, it's like this. Oh, it's nice. Dasosmi, das and odas. Das means under the feet. Now look at Jagai. He's seeing Darshan of Mahaprabhu as Chaturbhuj Narayan, who is the Lord of everyone. And now he's getting the feet of Lord Chaitanya in his chest. Now visualization is that you're reading these shlokas, and if you're really absorbed, you're thinking, what's going to happen next? Just like you're watching a movie. And then you see in the movie, of course we haven't, practically, honestly speaking, I haven't seen a movie in 37 years on TV or anything. Well, I have seen enough movies to remember. But you're seeing a movie, and you're anticipating, part of your absorption in the movie is you're anticipating the future, because you're seeing the present. Oh, she's waiting to meet her husband, and she's looking at the watch and looking outside, and finally he comes, and then he has some lipstick mark on his neck, and he walks in, and she says, "Why are you late?" And she doesn't notice, and then she notices, and then she slaps him in the face. This is all you're seeing this. And then your mind is, you're seeing the present, but then your mind is running to the next moment. What's going to happen now? What's he going to do? What's he going to say? What's she going to do? What's she going to say? So then when he goes, oh, what they usually do. The lady goes, Tom, and then the guy goes, oh. And then he looks and he says, really? And then he goes, Tom. Then he slaps her. And then she runs to her, and then you're thinking, what's she going to do? Maybe she'll do this, maybe do that. And your mind will create different possible future scenes. Very, very fast, your mind will work like this. Or maybe she'll hit him again, or maybe she'll shoot him, or whatever. So she runs to the drawer by the bed, and she opens the drawer, and she picks out she takes out a .22 pistol. A 22 little derringer, they call it. And she goes, you! And she says a bunch of things in Hindi which you don't understand. And this, that, the other thing, you cheated on me, this, that, doom. And he says, no, because he's about to get shot, right? He says, no, you said no to me so many times, now forget it. And he's tom. So you're imagining, and you're watching the movie, so the movie has you fully grabbed. It has your imagination grabbed, it has your visualization, it has your heart, it has your eyes. You're just totally absorbed in it. So Shastras should grab us. G for Granta, G for grab. This is Grant, like we have the Holy Grant. Grant means Shastra. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So it's the king of all Grantas. So G for Granta, G for grab. It should grab us. It has great grabbing quality if we allow ourselves to be grabbed. So if we're reading this, wow, he saw this four-handed form. And then he fainted. And now he has this, Lord Chaitanya is putting his Vakshe Shri Charana Dila, Chaitanya Gosai. And Lord Chaitanya is putting his foot on this drunk, this degraded person, he's putting his beautiful lotus feet, which are worshipped by Lakshmi Devi, on this filthy person, this sinful person who's so contaminated. Just to, if the air blows by his body and that air comes to your body, then so many sins come on your body just from the air blowing by the body of Jagai. That's what it was like before. So now, Charane Dharya Kande Sukriti Jagai Emata Apurvakare Gauranga Gosai. The fortunate Jagai shed tears as he held the Lord's feet. Such are the wonderful pastimes of Lord Gauranga. So if you were reading that Lord Chaitanya, if you're reading verse by verse slowly, not reading like speed reading, Emily Wood's speed reading course or something, where you read with your finger. When I was in college, I took a speed reading course. We had to read so many books, so you just read to get the facts, and you actually read with your finger. When you go to school, you go like, when you're a little kid, you're using your finger when you read, you walk on the page with your finger, and the teacher, hey, don't use your finger. Then when you go to college and you go in a speed reading course, they teach you to read with your finger. You go like, scanning the page. So if we're reading verse by verse and trying to enter deeply, become tanmoy, become one, our heart, mind, everything merge with the shloka and the scene, the feelings, the exchanges, the loving exchanges between the Lord and His devotees, then we freeze. It's like we see a movie and they freeze. So we freeze at the feet of Gauranga or on the chest of Jagai. Oh, if I was so fortunate, and if that happened to me, then what would I do? Would I faint again? Or would I wake up? Or would I tremble? Or what would I do? Would I cry? Would I hold on to those feet? What would I do? So this is where you're visualizing and anticipating what would the possible next scene be, without looking ahead to the next shloka. And that's how you get more absorbed. You think, well, if that happened to me, I think I would just start trembling, whatever. So then you read the next shloka, and what is Jagai? What is his response? What is the response of Jagai? He holds them tightly, as if they're invaluable jewels. And then what happened? Then he started crying. These are the wonderful pastimes, the Purva Lila of Gauranga Gosai. Eka Jiva Dui Deha Jagai Madhai Eka Punya Eka Pap Vaise Eka Tani. Jagai and Madhai were like one soul with two bodies. Yet here, one was pious and one was sinful. Purport. In the mutual exchange between Jagai and Madhai, sometimes on the pretext of pious activity, one would caution the other from committing sinful activities. And at other times, when the former would engage in sinful activities, the latter would caution him. Therefore, they were both rascals. On seeing Jagai's reward, the heart of Madhai was transformed. So sometimes Jagai would have an idea to do something good, and he would tell Madhai, oh, don't do this bad thing. And then maybe Madhai would listen to him or not. Then another time, Jagai would want to do something bad, and Madhai would say, hey, don't do that. So this way, sometimes one would suggest something pious and correct the other one, and sometimes the other one would suggest a pious religious activity, and the other one would agree to follow his idea. But ultimately they were both rascals, because they were both engaged in sinful activities, full speed. So when Madhai saw the mercy So Madhai's chitta, tatakshane bhala, it became good. At that moment, tatakshane bhalo, his chitta, his consciousness became reformed just by appreciating the good fortune of his brother. So you see how beneficial the right attitude is. The right attitude is very beneficial. And the right response. So rather than because there's another response, and Madhai could have had this response and exhibited this attitude. Oh, Jagai is getting the mercy, not me. Oh, that rascal, why should he get the mercy? And he could feel all kinds of envious feelings and express that envy towards his brother and towards the Lord. Why he's giving to him, not me? But his attitude was something different. He was appreciating. It says here that his heart was transformed when the
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Himate Bhakti Vedanta Kamiliti Namine Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Gauravani Asha Vishada Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Shila Madre, the Puri Groha, Mahasoti, Chanting for Festival Mahasoti, Dai Gora Devande.
Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Vajabhakata Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Goshta Bihari Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari Dhira Damodara Ishaye Kana Bova Mandire Basi Karaha Bojana Nanderani Deshi Bashi Giribaradari Baladeva Saha Soka Vaise Sari Sari Shukta Shakhari Vaji Lalita Kushmanda Dalidana Dugda Tumbi Dadi Mocha Kanda Buddha Bora Mash Bora Roti Kagritana Daskuli Pistaka Kir Kuli Payasana Kapura Amrita Keli Rama Kirashara Amrita Rasalama Dvadasha Pakora Luci Sinisar Puri Ladura Sabali Bhojana Kore na Krishna Hoye Kutuhali Radhikara Pakayana Bibida Byanjana Paramayanande Krishna Kore na Bhojana Chale Bale Ladu Khai Sri Madhu Mangala Bagala Bajaya Deya Hari Bolo Radhikari Gani Hari Nayane Rakone Tripta Hoye Kai Krishna Jasoda Bhavani Bhojanande Priya Krishna Subhasita Bari Sabe Mukha Prakaloy Hare Sari Sari Asta Mukha Prakaliya Jata Sakagane Anande Vishrama Kore Baladeva Sane Rasala ne Tambula masala Ahake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidra Deva Vishalaka Sikhi Pucha Chamara Dulaya Apurva Sayaya Krishna Sukhe Nirayaya Yasomati Anga Priya Danishtaya Nito Sri Krishna Prasad Radha Unje Hoye Prito Lalitari Sakti Gana Avashesha Paya Mane Mane Sukhe Radha Krishna Guna Gaya Hari Lila Ekamatra Jahara Pramoda Bhogarati Gai Thakur Bhakti Vinoda Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari Nanda Dasomati Chita Hari Nanda Dasomati Chita Hari Raja Govinda Govinda Gopala 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 Udila Yaruna Purava Bhage Vijamani Gaura Yamani Jage Udila Yaruna Purava Bhage Vijamani Gaura Yamani Jage Bhakata Shamu Haloya Sate Gela Nagara Braje Bhakata Shamu Haloya Sate Gela Nagara Braje Tathai Tathai Bajalo Kol Gana Gana Tahe Janjera Ro Tathai Tathai Bajalo Kol Gana Gana Tahe Janjera Ro Preme Dala Dala Shonara Yanga Charane Nupura Bhaje Preme Dala Dala Shonara Yanga Charane Nupura Bhaje Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolna Bolo Re Vadana Bori Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolna Bolo Re Vadana Bori Micheni Dava Shegelore Rati Vivasha Sharira Saje Imono Dulaba Manava Deho Haya Ki Koro Bhavana Keho Ebena Vajile Jasoda Suta Charame Pori Belaje Ebena Vajile Jasoda Suta Charame Pori Belaje Yudita Tapan Hoile Asta Vinogelo Boli Hoi Bebiasta Yudita Tapan Hoile Asta Tabekeno ebe ala sahoy nabajari doyaraje Tabekeno ebe ala sahoy nabajari doyaraje Jivonayani jana hasan tahinana vidha viparaba Namaskar kori jatane tumi taka hoy apon kaje Namaskar kori jatane tumi taka apon kaje Jivya kalyana sadhana kan jagate asiye moduyana Jivya kalyana sadhana Vidyati tapana rupe ridga gane viraje Vidyati tapana rupe ridga gane viraje Krishna nam shudha koriyapan jurao bhakti vinoda pran Krishna nam shudha koriyapan Nam bina kichu nahi koyaro chauda bhuvana maje Nam bina kichu nahi koyaro chauda bhuvana maje Jeev jago Gaura Chandra bole Jeev jago Kotha nidra jao maya pisachi rakole Kotha nidra jao maya pisachi rakole Bajibo boliya aise sansara bitore Dile tumi ovidya rabore Tomare loite ami hainu yavatara que ache tomara ami bina bandhuara que ache tomara লাও তুমি মাগি Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Poriya Say Hari Nama Mantra Loilo Magiya এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই পতিত পাবন তোমা বিনে কেহ নাই পতিত পাবন তোমা বিনে কেহ গেলে আপো দূরে যাহারানি কতে গেলে আপো দূরে মন দয়াল প্রভু কে বা কোথায় পায় মন দয়াল প্রভু কে বা কোথায় আশাতে পাওয়া গঙ্গার পরশা হলে আশাতে পাওয়া দর্শনে পবিত্র করো তোমার দর্শনে পবিত্র করো তোমার হরিস্থানে অপরাধে করে হরি নাম Sada Govinda Vishram Kumara Hridoye Sada Govinda Vishram Govinda Kohena Moro Vaishnava Para Govinda Kohena Moro Vaishnava Para Govinda Kohena Moro Vaishnava Para Govinda Kohena Moro Prati janme kori asha charoner aduri Prati janme kori asha charoner aduri Prati janme kori asha charoner aduri Prati janme kori asha Narotame Koro Doya Apnara Boli Narotame Koro Doya Apnara Boli Narotame Koro Doya Apnara Boli Narotame Koro Doya Baro koruna koro Vaishnava Gosai Baro koruna koro Vaishnava Gosai Baro koruna koro Vaishnava Gosai Baro koruna koro Vaishnava Patita pavana toma bine ke hona Patita pavana toma bine ke hona Patita pavana toma